this morning's Business Insight, the kickoff of a new feature in this week's Courier. As in sports, one of the most compelling parts of business journalism is the personalities to cover. In a new monthly section called People to Know, the Business Courier will take a look at some of the most important industries in Cincinnati and highlight 20 key players. First up, technology. Joining us this morning are David Wilbrand, partner at Thompson Hine and chair of the Early Stage and Emerging Company Practice, and Bob Coy, president and CEO of Cincy Tech. Both are featured in that special section, and they're with Business Watch producer Kelly Leon in the studio. Guys.
Thanks, Peg. David, Bob, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So you guys are not techies.
No. Exactly.
And neither am I. So you're featured in this section because you two are both so instrumental to helping this industry grow. What's the most exciting thing going on in the tech industry right now in Cincinnati?
Well, David and I are working in the startup space, so we're working with startup technology companies. And I would say that in the 9 years that I've been here, the environment for technology companies that are starting up has never been better. The quality of the entrepreneurs is very strong. The ideas that they're coming up with are quite scalable. And the pool of investors who are willing to back those companies to help them grow continues to expand. So I think that the environment has never been better for technology entrepreneurs in the city.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree. I think for the first time you're finding the important pieces coming together at the same time. Mm-hmm. I think over the last 20, 25 years, Cincinnati at different times has had different components of that mix available, mm-hmm. but it's been missing other places. There have been really key gaps. Mm-hmm. But now, as Bob said, you do have money, you do have state support, you do have great ideas and great entrepreneurs, and you've just got it all coming together in this cocktail that's really starting to get some momentum and reach some critical mass, and it's really exciting.
But still, we're not seen as the traditional hub for technology. Mm-hmm. We're not Silicon Valley, Boston. So what are some of the challenges that the folks that you're investing in are finding?
Well, it largely centers around talent, especially developer talent and software architects. So that's the major challenge. And then along with that, we don't have the number of venture capital firms at the later stage that the coasts have focusing on the region, although that's beginning to change, thanks to the help of Centrifuge and also to companies that are here and that are, you know, truly world-class and are attracting venture capital from both coasts.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think we're still, anytime you're doing something for the first time, it's really hard.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we don't have serial entrepreneurs because we're still in that first generation of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We don't have serial angels because we're still in that first generation of angels. So we're all still figuring it out. Now, I think the good news that's tied with that is that, and I think one of the reasons why it is such an interesting time to be a part of this, is that there's a high level of recognition of those issues, and so there's a lot of collaboration. And I think that's what makes what Bob does and what I do really rewarding, because we're working with people that really are rowing together. It's not an intensely competitive environment where people feel like I've got to get mine.
Yeah.
It's, you see people in all precincts and sectors really coming together saying, look, we have work to do.
Yeah.
You know, we have a goal we're trying to achieve, and let's try to do that to lift the community up, and it's really working.
That's great. And didn't the Huffington Post just come out with something recognizing us in terms of our funding?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Not only the funding, but the startup companies that are here and that are really starting to play on the national stage. So the headline of the Huffington Post article was something like, "Take a bow, Cincinnati, for the startup environment that you've created."
Yeah. Great to get that kind of recognition, huh?
Absolutely.
I mean, that will just even fuel it even more, I would imagine.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, I think Cincy Tech at its recent annual meeting, the notion was fly over country no more.
That's right.
Right? And we're starting to make that impact, which is terrific.
That's great. Wonderful for everyone. Okay, one more question to each of you. So you're not techies, as we said.
Right.
But what is the one piece of technology you personally cannot live without?
Would be my smartphone.
I don't think there's any question.
You were going to say that.
Right. Right. No, man, absolutely. You've got to stay connected all the time. You know, and that's, and I think that's the piece of it. You know, Bob and I were talking earlier about this, and one of the things that's really interesting about where we are right now is people are so enthusiastic and so passionate about this.
Yeah.
And one of the things that happens when people are passionate and enthusiastic is they want to talk to you about it at 11 o'clock on a Thursday night, right? So you need to have your phone. You always need to be connected.
Yeah.
And I think that's why that piece of technology is indispensable.
And it seems like both of you are having fun with this too.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a fun industry.
It's a fun industry.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you for all that you're doing, and great read in the Business Courier, and we'll bring you back at another time, we hope.
Okay.
Thank you.
Kelly.
It's
Thanks
fun.
so much.
Okay.